So as all of you are continuing to pursue your education as an adult, uh, that can obviously be a real challenge, whether you've encountered some challenges so far, or you just know that down the road you'll be encountering some more. You're having to balance all of your daily activities while completing school assignments, evaluations, all kinds of stuff that can interfere. It may be easy at first, but over time, this balancing can affect your mind and emotional state of being. So, like I said, throughout this presentation, we're going to be addressing kind of what burnout looks like, how to recognize its patterns, and then ways to manage it while pursuing your educational goals with a more positive mindset. So, what exactly is burnout? So, we're going to be talking about burnout as a whole, but I do want to also address what academic burnout is as well for our adult learners. So, burnout in general, it's a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. And it can be broken up into three different dimensions. So, depersonalization. So, this can look like I feel like I look at certain patients, clients, or people impersonally as if they're objects. Emotional exhaustion. You're just feeling super emotionally drained by your work. And then a feeling of a sense of low personal accomplishment. So just feeling like you did a terrible job at the work that you're doing. Um, Whereas academic burnout is the accumulation of stress from work and home life, resulting in frustration or lack of motivation to continue schoolwork. So I just wanted to include some burnout statistics. Um, Keep in mind that feeling stressed every once in a while is actually healthy, despite what some people may think. Researchers have discovered that some stress may actually increase alertedness and improve behavioral and cognitive performances. But it's whenever that stress gets to a point of what we call burnout. Um, so, a majority of students report experiencing stress in school. So, back in 2020, there was a survey. Um, 72% of college students worry about the future of their education, while 60% stress about either falling behind or failing in a remote learning environment. Um, so, burnout rates among university students are at an all time high right now in 2023. Percentages range from 5 all the way up to 80%. Uh, all of this is due to academic pressure, lack of social support, financial stress. All of these are contributing factors. So burnout right now is definitely more pressing than it ever has been. So, what exactly causes burnout? There are so many contributing factors uh, that lead to burnout. So here is just some examples: social disconnection, lack of access to peers, graduation depression or anxiety, loneliness due to social isolation, stress from working a part-time job, stress from family dynamics, financial issues, just having high expectations for yourself, or even social pressures, family pressures, pressures from your kids. Um, so some of these obviously apply more to our adult online learners. So this can be screen time. Staring at your computer all day not only creates a manifestation of physical irritabilities, but can cause intense brain fog. Um, also, a large amount of our adult learners are also doing their best to manage home life, family life, jobs, and their academic coursework. So this can be very weighing and challenging to manage all of these things. And if we're not taking enough time for ourselves, burnout is often what happens. Here's a few other causes of burnout. So struggling with grades, just being uncertain about the future, not knowing what's going to come after you graduate, fearing job searches, employment difficulties, student loans, all of this stuff that anything, and obviously anything that's not mentioned too. I'm sure everyone can think of a few things that aren't on here that are leading them to feel overly stressed out. So this is a very important slide. Recognition is such an important piece in the process of helping yourself. I see so many adults ignore their mental signs of burnout, um, and then they eventually manifest into physical symptoms. Um, so I know that I kind of jumped ahead, but I do work here in the student success office. I'm a GA here. I'm a student success coach, but I'm also working on my graduate degree in clinical mental health counseling here at Loyola. So I am seeing clients now, and I see a lot of adults who are struggling, who are in school, and they're trying to balance all of their stuff, and they feel as if it makes them stronger to ignore their symptoms, or some adults and other people in general just don't know the signs. They don't realize that they're burnt out until it's too late, until you're facing extreme repercussions. So what I have here is it's a link. It's called Maslach's Burnout Inventory, and it's short. It should take you between 5, 10, at most 15 minutes. And you click it and it brings you to the inventory. And at the end of it, it'll tell you how to score it. And it basically kind of gives you an idea of where you're at on the burnout scale. So it's definitely super interesting. And like I said, recognition is the first piece in helping yourself. So I strongly suggest whenever we get all these links posted and whatnot to take a look at this inventory and really sit with your results and see what comes up for you. So here are some warning signs. So a big piece after that recognition. I mean, how can you recognize it if you don't know what to look for? So we have feeling exhausted. So just mental, physical exhaustion are key signs of chronic stress. Less enthusiasm about school, waking up and having an 8:30 a.m. or having a noon class and just not looking forward to it at all. Um, Decline in academic abilities. So just feeling drained, um, you know, seeing yourself perform poorly on quizzes, exams, discussion posts, things like that. Just overall, your stress is contributing to lower success. Increased irritability or anger. So noticing that you're more prone to snap at someone. Not having the patience to sit down and do your work. Um, Signs like that. It's super, super important because, increased irritability and anger, that starts to creep into family issues as well. So all of this carrying over from in school and classwork starts to affect your interpersonal relationships, which can become a problem. Increased anxiety. So growing sense of anxiety, worry, or agitation is common. It's so common with burnout. And just some people also experience restlessness, not being able to sleep at night. And then physical sensations. So a lot of the times we see um, these mental symptoms, if they're not addressed, they're not recognized, and they're not taken care of and handled with care, they start to manifest physically. So start seeing fatigue, headaches, stomach discomfort, signs like that if you're not noticing it mentally, your body's going to start taking a toll on your physical body. So probably the thing that everyone's wondering is, okay, well, I know what it looks like. I know that I probably have it, but how do I prevent it or mitigate it? There are some very easy ways that you can start mitigating and preventing burnout in your daily life right now. And these things can include exercise. So not only is exercise good for our physical health, but it gives us an emotional boost. Whenever we exercise, our body is releasing natural dopamine and endorphins that make us happy and feel better. There are several really awesome links all throughout this slide. So if I click here, it gives you some mini workouts. Short walks are convenient, just things that you can do in your own home. You don't have to go to the gym and spend hours doing all of these elaborate exercises. You can click this link and it gives you some things that you can do in your own bedroom. Take 10 minutes, whatever you need. The smallest amount of time can make the biggest difference. Eating a balanced diet. So eating a healthy diet filled with omega-3 fatty acids can be a natural antidepressant. So if you click this link, it'll give you a huge list of all kinds of different foods that offer these awesome omega-3 fatty acids. So adding foods rich in omega-3s, so like flaxseed oils, walnuts, fish, all of this stuff can help boost your mood. I know that this next one probably comes as a well, duh, but it also isn't the easiest thing for all of us to do, which is practice good sleeping habits. I know for me as a college student, I struggle with procrastination, and I sometimes wait a little too long to get some stuff done, and then that creeps into my healthy sleep regimen. But sleep is so important. Getting a full 8 hours of sleep is extremely beneficial. I put a link here. So according to the National Sleep Foundation, avoiding caffeine right before bedtime, establishing a relaxing bedtime ritual, not being on your phone in bed right before you fall asleep, all of these things can help us get a full night's rest. And last but not least, the most important one, in my opinion, is asking for help. So from my past research, one common theme that I've noticed in adults, either in sessions or whenever I've been active as a student success coach, is especially adults who view burnout, admit that they have burnout, they accommodate it with a feeling of shame. A lot of adults I currently work with in counseling feel as if expressing burnout comes across as a sign of weakness or even failure. So I'm here to tell you that that is absolutely not the case. No one has an inexhaustible source of resilience. A solid cliff can be broken down when enough stress is applied to it, but the stress doesn't have to be this sudden and catastrophic event. The cliff can be broken down by the constant battering of wind over time or the slow erosion of the soil holding it up, and we're no different than that cliff. So there are times when we need someone or something to help us withstand a tempest, and sometimes just offer us the shoulder to lean on. So with that being said, here are some resources that we at Loyola can provide. So we have the University Counseling Center. They offer virtual appointments. If you're out of state, there's different laws and regulations, for some licensure guidelines, but I definitely recommend checking this link out and seeing what all our University Counseling Center has to offer. I know that we do a lot of anxiety management workshops. We do a lot of stress management workshops. So I highly recommend our counseling center and just checking out the link to see what all they have to offer. Aside from our counseling center, we have some really awesome student success coaches here. So we have Esme, myself, Joy, and Elizabeth, and I provided our emails here. So please always reach out if you need any kind of assistance academically. We're always more than happy to help in whatever terms that we can offer.